there, YouTube, and welcome to Sunday the 27th of April. Well, this month's coming to a quick end, isn't it? Man, we're dang near halfway through the year. It's supposed to be cloudy today, which it is. It's not raining. I think the rain comes to Tuesday, maybe sooner, I don't know. It's not very warm out here. It's only like 59. I didn't pay attention how cool it was overnight. I don't think it was that cool because the clouds come in and it kind of neutralizes the temperature. When it's going to be a clear day, it is crazy cold at night. If you see stars, it's going to be cold. But for now, I'm going to start working on the dreaded lawn out here, do my weekly cut. It's not too terribly bad. It rained right after I did it last week, but it didn't leap quite as bad as I thought, but it's definitely needing a cut. So we're going to tackle that next. Poor Sasha. Look at her hiding behind the bush. You know it's coming, don't you? Oh, she. What do you think, huh? You dreading the old lawn cut? She'll go over there and hide underneath her apple tree. Look at her ears all cocked back. So all I gotta do is jingle the keys in my pocket. She knows the sound of the lock barn keys. Oh, she. Why does that make you so nervous, huh? If I ever come after you with a lawnmower. She goes, it's just a sound I don't like. I hear the pitch of those blades spinning underneath there. And that means trouble. I'll either take them inside or put them in their pen. But she'll sit out here while I do the front part. Crazy old girl. Yeah. Look at that sad face. You know something's coming, don't you? She goes, I can tell by the thick of the grass and the look on your face. You're about to mow the lawn. But yeah, very peaceful out here. Just birds are chirping. No motorcycles driving yesterday. The motorcycles were going up and down the highway like crazy yesterday. I was meeting that group of sport bikes as we're leaving. That was a huge cache of them. A little tiny bird over there flipping stuff around on the ground. That's a tiny little thing. But anyway, let's get this thing done. While we sit here and talk about it and dread it, the slower it's going to take to get her done. And geez, what is it? Oh, good Lord, it's 3:30 in the afternoon. I need to get rolling. Well, I don't know. Some of them clouds are looking threatening. But I got the lawn busted out. I got it done in right at about 2 hours. And it wasn't bad. The grass is at that level where it's just a normal cut. Quite a few bag dumps, though. I think there was at least 7 full double bag dumps. The grass is more concentrated and full. Good Lord, very heavy. It's very, very green and very heavy. The bags are. Jeez, wear yourself out. Sasha out here roaming around. But I got done about 5:30, and it's 7:30 now. I always go through, clean the lawnmower, and fill the tank with treated gas so that it's ready to go on the next run. Lovely sound of the leaves fluttering about. Why, things just blooming. Going some kind of crazy out here. Sasha and her daggum apple tree hiding. And then when I get back here, I put them in their pen. And then I put the lawnmower, which she knows when it's done. And her and Annie start freaking out because they know they're about to get out. And every time I got to go over there, I hook her up. I got to sit down on the sidewalk there and let her just mob me for a while. It's like you've been gone for a long, long time and you finally return. She's just so glad that I'm done with the lawnmower. Why that freaks her out, always has. Danny's out there running around causing a ruckus. I thought it was Danny causing a commotion. I thought I heard him barking out there too. I come running up here to see what's going on. That's where I just wears you out, all them bags of dumping those bags. That's a lot of weight. It does look very like rainy looking in the background. I wouldn't say threatening, threat of rain, but not that that's a threat. We don't get crazy rains around here. Well, look at this, the very end of the day. A little sunshine's gonna decide to pop out. I was actually thinking about going for a ride when I was riding the lawnmower. I got done and I just, it's just not in me. It's cold out here. I don't know what the temperature is, but it just feels very, very cool. And yeah, I'm just dragging everything out, get all bundled up. I thought, not into it today. If you're not into it, don't force yourself. What's all the commotion with you two over here, huh? Thought I heard Danny in the mix too. He probably just ran through. That always causes a crazy commotion. You sure are a happy girl when I'm done with the lawnmower, aren't you? Yep. Crazy old dog. Alright. Well, that was some kind of a wild birthday party last night. I don't know. They were doing stuff out here, rapping. They'd come out here and use that little table because Raylan's out of sight, to keep her busy doing something. So I was looking into that GPS mount, and for whatever reason, Royal Enfield, the spacing of these things are too wide. There's some plates that kind of L into, the bracket, and there's with it. Well, it comes, the one he had, was a Garmin mount. Oh, and I didn't answer you back, but someone sent me a link. Well, I'll get to you. Sent me a link to the what that company, Evotech. Yeah, Evotech Performance. It shows a Aiuchi mount, but that Aiuchi mount allows you to click to a quad lock. I did see that in there. So, because they're really cheap, like $30, I ordered a GPS mount for this thing that comes up and has the bar across there, just like the I have on the Pan America. But you gotta be careful. I've got the older one. The newer ones, they came with the what do they call that? The tripper thing. And the windshield has a substantially bigger bulge on the sides. So the newer ones arch out to make sure they clear. Well, they got to clear it on the right-hand side. Well, you're not going to have an arch over here and not one there, to make it symmetric. They're both the same way. Well, I think 21, 22, or actually, 18 or 19 through 22, didn't have that tripper, or maybe it's through 21. Maybe they got the tripper in 22. I don't know. But these have a skinnier, the shield area right here is a little wider, but it doesn't bulge out as much right here. And I think it's a little bit taller. I rode that 23, I think we had at the shop. Kicked a little hedger there. Shield didn't seem to be, didn't have any different effect, but I didn't get up to any kind of speed. But it's a similar, sorry, about the bugs, but it's a similar setup where it comes up, but it only comes with the 22 millimeter crossbar. And depending on how wide that thing is, I actually have a, what was this one? A 12 millimeter or something? I don't remember what it is. Whatever it was. But the problem I'm having is Aiuchi does not have, other than the kit stuff that it has with it, and they're like ram mount style stuff, to mount any kind of a crossbar or a handlebar. And I was doing some searching, and I'm just not finding anything that would mount to a traditional GPS mount. And especially 22. I found, was that for the Aiuchi? I don't know. It got delivered at the shop. hopefully somebody grabbed it and did something with it. But that'll be nice, and that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do it on the Himalayan. In my feeble little mind, I think about, doing some little trips with that thing. But it would have to be something you do. And my quad lock stuff with the charger head. And I was looking, there's a customer that, I forget what kind of bike it was in there. And he had the USB one, and then there was, I don't remember what bike that was. It was the other techs working on, so I wasn't really paying attention to the bike. I was paying more attention to the head. And the one that's hardwired as opposed to the USB, because the USB one has an on-off switch and stuff on it, does seem to be slightly thinner. But it's not that small profile like this. They're big, and it's got the release thing because it actually locks, like this. Once they roll in, they click and lock. And that's what that for the Ayuchi C6 Pro, I think is what it's called. It was a plate that mounts to the back, and it mounts, like this, where you can see the little red anti-vibration things on this. I notice when I'm driving down the road, I don't see it. But because the camera stabilizes everything so much, things that it's not stabilizing looks very, very wiggly. So you can see light, and it seems like that thing's moving all over the place, but the naked eye absolutely does not see that. There's a deal where I booted up the stock internal maps on there, which, it just absolutely works perfectly fine. But you pretty much, it's using the PC thing. It's really cool how it works. Actually, really neat how it works. But you pretty much need to set your maps up first. It's not so quick to if you use the Harley app, find a Harley dealer, like gas stations, definitely Harley dealers. There's so many of them. You hit it, and there's just a map of them everywhere. That all works really good, but I shouldn't pass any kind of judgment because I have not even tried. I've just watched some tutorials of other people doing maps with them, and it works perfectly fine. The only thing is, I'm sure it's kind of like Honda does the same thing too, though they don't have the highest definition of stuff because they want it to just be ultimately reliable. But that being said, you look at the new road glides and street glides, the touring, the 2425s, super high definition. So, they're moving that way. And it is a TFT display, but for whatever reason, the map just has this low resolution look to it. Perfectly functional. You can read the roads and directions, and everything else is very clear to see. But then you have your little CarPlay thing running up here, and it's just tack sharp. And then you look at like the Apple CarPlay thing on the Spyders and the BMWs and stuff like that. Their mapping stuff is just so clear. You get spoiled. You got your high definition television. It's kind of hard to go back to an old TV that's like low resolution. You just get spoiled rotten. But it'll be interesting to see that. So the GPS mount actually would have showed up today. It was a overnight delivery, but I ordered two other things, and it's not going to be here until, and so I just had it all coming on Wednesday. I do need to get the little, I was thinking about just getting the ADV or whatever touring with a wider foot, but I've got a little foot thing for the Himalayan, because I've definitely had some situations where it was just it's too small. It digs into the dirt too easy. But I got just one of those plates that pop on there to make them wider. What did I have that on? I think I put one on the... Yeah, I've got one on the... Because that thing's... It's a piece of pipe that's just kind of bent and flattened at the end. So that thing just stabs into the dirt real easy. You know, because we usually, stop in some old dirty parking lot or whatever and got to be careful where you put the side stand down. Haven't had too much stuff with this, but enough that, one of those little wide plate things will be nice. Actually, the company that makes that is the same company that makes the GPS mount. And has really good reviews. The only, the newer one, people with older Himalayans are putting it on and they go, it hits my screen. The screen's a different shape. You can literally see by the shape. You got to look and find the one that's, 18 through 21, I think is what they do. So maybe it is 22 when they changed it. I don't know. The time just kind of flies by and you forget stuff. The old slim and iron. If I was going to ride today, it was going to be the iron. I was going to haul her out because it's been a while since I've ridden her too. But I don't know, just not in it. I was all about it, before I did the lawn and, as I started the lawn and, man, back dumping those bags and stuff. And I said, you know what? I'm just not going to do that. I'm just going to hang out. But anyway, so the quad lock charging thing, which means I got to pull the tank off and wire something else through there. Kelly goes, well, make sure, do you want to put one of those USB here with the hiccups here? Put one of those USB things on there like you did the Harley. And I go, I don't know. Maybe I'll run a cable up there, with a SAE plug that I can put a USB adapter if I can find some place to hide it really well, where you just pull it out when you need it, And you have, the built-in one that's here, that but it only powers up when the bike's powered up. And it's just like the BMWs. It outputs, when normal run mode, and then it's an input for a charger when not. But I do have, the one hardwired to the battery down there too. Like if you need to run an air pump or something like that, and you don't want to have the key on or the bike running while you do it, I got it in a spot where I can reach in there and flip it out. And it's a Optimate, so it's got that, I wouldn't say waterproof, but waterproof enough. I've never seen any one of those corrode. I've seen people that don't put the cap back on, and the connections look questionable at best. But anyway, more stuff to tinker with. It was cool enough. I turned that thing on because I come out here this morning and it was quite cool in here. I keep saying I'm going to get another one of those oil things out here. It's safer than a glowing, fan driven thing there. Fans tend to suck in dust too, so I do, unplug it, take it outside and blow it out every once in a while. It's like a, hair dryer. You have to get all the lint in them. The old 350. Actually, just one of those bikes just make you smile when you walk past them. And when you ride them, it's just as big a smile. The old GT. Though Himalayan, I think of, doing some stuff with that. I'm not going into any details. I haven't detailed anything out. I just have things that are in my head I'd like to do. There's a lot of people that, do crazy tours on these things. Still to this day, they rent some old thing and go across a country, was that guy Joe Ryan that had the 411 Scram that literally sounded like the top end was coming apart on that thing that went, all the way across Vietnam, I think it was, on one. And now he's on another tour. I'm not sure where he's at. He did one in Australia on the 450, but he's now back on a 411. He's just one of those guys that's all about the ride, not about the bike, I love that. I worry too much. It's got to be reliable. These are crazy reliable. I just like things reliable. Man, listen to that thing tic-tac rattle through that series of him going through Vietnam on that 411 Scram. It's like, does that not seem a little odd to you? You could find somebody to, or do it yourself, pop the tank off and throw some feeler gauges across that thing. Just tap it lock nut. It's easy to do. But he got through so much mud and stuff, I'd be a panic to get that thing clean, because it does have that gap around the valve caps, it kind of making the head look smooth. Well, as a result of that, there's a gap. But, just spray them out or blow them out. They come right out. But I'd be afraid to lift that head if it was all dirty. But, yeah, so I'll get a hold of the guy that gave me that mount. See if he's got somebody else that's interested. It's just the gap is just too wide. I mean, I could come up with something and use these 8mm instead of the 9mm, which are magically high quality. They come in that kit. But I did find the list under the part number. It's a universal fit, but it only fits certain bikes. They actually have a list of what it fits. It's like Ducatis, Triumphs, a whole bunch of Hondas. I think a couple Yamahas, but like earlier year Yamahas, nothing current. But there is a whole list of what it's supposed to fit on. If he doesn't want it back, and offer it to somebody. A lot of kids at work have Yamahas. One of the ones that shows, it just seems like that hasn't changed on it. So I'll have to check that out. Can't do it on this. There's no handlebar mounts here. She's an old clip-on style. Might fit that. Who knows? It might very well fit that. But that, if you had that thing sitting there, it would absolutely cover your gauge up. And anything like that, I'll just clip, use the mount and just mount, be a temporary thing, mount it to the bar. And thought about putting it on Flirty. Kelly said she was interested in it, but I think if I put that thing on there, she'd probably not like it. I don't think she's not worried about stuff like that. She's not gonna self-navigate on some trip somewhere. She goes, I'll just let you do the maps. But anyway, I'm gonna stop rattling on and probably go in there and see what the mama's doing. I see she's all in her cozies for the night. Actually, I don't think she ever got dressed. I think she's been hanging around in her robe all day. She gets into her shows and just watching Bigfoot stuff, and I mean, she goes from one thing to another. Some of those like horror things she watches, a woman, I don't know how you don't wake up with some kind of crazy nightmare stuff. Watched a bunch of Titanic stuff, earlier this month, the 15th being the anniversary when it sank in 1912. I've had some crazy Titanic dreams. Kelly goes, why do you watch that stuff? I said, woman, that's what I tell you about them horror things. Sometimes she comes up with these crazy dreams, or something's chasing her or something. See, I tell you, quit watching those things, especially before you go to bed. But she says normally none of that stuff bothers her. They're actually entertaining enough to her. She likes it. I can't watch too much doom and gloom. That just, I don't know, it'll end up putting you in a funky mood, as it may be. Got my lights on there. I never did. I need to kick both of those things up a little bit. Now if I go out, I should have done that, at the time, because now I go out and it's just going to be, you wouldn't even tell what color the bike is. You turn them bright lights on at night, holy moly. I mean, look at, you've seen the shield on mine, but Kelly's big old shield there, that gives them bugs a big old platform to whack about. I don't know if any of that shows up, but anyway, sorry I didn't go for a ride. Just not in it. If you're not in it, it's safer just not to go. Don't go force a ride just to do a vlog or something, you know. That's dangerous. Anyway, roll. Well, hello there, YouTube. I was just out here, or talking to you just a few minutes ago in the garage. I'm being all casual today.
Yes.
Can't blame her for that. And that's it. When I got done with the lawn, I went to sit down to give my back a rest there, and got back into some dadgum Titanic stuff. There's that new, who was it? Magellan did these 3D scans. I guess it's something ORV or whatever. Mapping down there of the Titanic is pretty spectacular. It's pretty crazy. And this guy that was shown is pretty low resolution, but yeah, the app though to run it's kind of spendy. Well, not really, but it's more than just a curiosity thing. But the guy that did the video was really good, so pretty cool stuff. Just into that kind of history stuff.
Yeah, love history.
But anyway, no rides today. Just kind of hanging around, shooting the bull, and rattling jaw, playing with dogs, and Sasha and Andy back there. I don't know if you guys can see them.
Goofballs.
But anyway, we're gonna roll it out.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give her a thumbs up, and you guys have an amazing Monday or Tuesday.
Heck yeah. All right.
We will see you tomorrow.
Crack of dawn in the morning. Not that early, but in the morning. All right. Appreciate you watching now. Bye-bye.